Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're looking into the disappearance of Peggy Joan Decoteau. She went missing July 4th, 1979 from Superior, Montana. 40 years old. It says she could have been anywhere from 5 foot tall to 5 foot 4. But it says she weighed about 155 pounds. Last seen in Mineral County, Montana, July 4th, 1979. Red auburn hair, blue eyes. Last seen carrying a brown leather purse, a light denim travel bag, wearing blue jeans. And the Charlie Project, brown leather purse containing approximately $200 in cash. May use the middle names Jean or Joan or her maiden name Cashman. She has a mole on the right side of her face. Surgical scar on her abdomen from gallbladder operation. Last seen Superior, Montana. She and her husband Earl had traveled from their home in Maple Valley, Washington to visit relatives in North Dakota, and they stopped at the Big Sky Motel in Superior on their way home. Earl said he woke up and she was just gone at 11 o'clock at night. Her purse, credit cards, travel bag were also missing. Never heard from again. It says he waited 9 days to report her disappearance to the police. In the meantime, he was trying to find her by looking to see if she was with various friends or relatives. The Dakotas had been having marital problems, and investigators believe at first that Peggy had left her on her own accord. Her credit cards were never used after she went missing, however, and foul play is suspected. It has never been solved. Let's see what this says. Here we have hers. And it says she was born September 20th, 1938. Mineral County Undersheriff Coroner Anita Parkin. Vanished July 4th, Big Sky Motel. Her daughter reported her missing July 13th. Said she disappeared from the motel. That her and her husband had stopped on their way home from North Dakota where they were visiting relatives, said Mineral County Undersheriff Anita Parkin. Told authorities when her father awoke that her mother was gone from their motel room. They'd been having marital problems. Maldonado told authorities that she and her father waited longer than a week to report her missing because they had been checking with friends and relatives. Foul play is suspected. Her credit cards and her purse were missing, but the cards have never been used. And there's some other missing people on this page. We would like to look. We have Megan. We have a child here that was 2 years old. She, according to this, when they posted it in 1994, she'd now be 16. And it talks about her wandering off in the afternoon while playing with her brother outside in a thickly forested valley. So you can pause this and read it if you want to. Let's see, financial limitation, failing health prevented him from aggressively trying to find his daughter. And then we have this young little child. Nylene K. Marshall, last seen June 25th, 1983. She was 4 years old. I don't know if they ever found her. So, let's see. During a family outing in the Elkhorn Mountains. Let's see. She still doesn't know whether the little girl got lost or abducted. She was barefoot, wearing shorts and a t-shirt when she wandered off playing near Beaver Dams. 15 miles of Helena. The rain-plagued search extended for 2 weeks. The girl had been with her parents, who were by other children along the creek. We also have John Kerrigan, went missing July 20th, 1984. He was 58. The Reverend John Patrick Kerrigan, a Catholic priest, vanished 2 days after his transfer from Plains to Ronan's Sacred Heart Parish. Parishioners reported him missing when he failed to show up for a weekend service, last seen the night of July 20th, 1984, at a Ronan bakery where he had stopped on his way home from jogging. His clothes were found July 21st, 1984, along State Highway 35, 3 miles northeast of Polson on the east shore of Flathead Lake. His shirt was stained with his own blood. A $100 bill was tucked in a pocket. His 1976 Chevy Impala was found 8 days later, parked in a swell just outside Polson city limits. The car had spots of blood on the interior. In the trunk, police found a bloody pillow and shovel and a small cardboard box containing a wallet with $100. The car keys were found in a field about 30 yards from the car. Authorities found no links with the disappearance. That reminds me of that one guy where they parked his car up against some rocks in the nose, and they found the keys like 15 feet away. Anyway, authorities found no links with the disappearance of the priest that went missing 2 years earlier. They were friends, having worked in White Sulphur Springs at the same time earlier in their careers. Kerrigan's case has been featured on NBC television program Unsolved Mysteries, which focused on possible connections with unsolved murder of another priest, Ronaldo Rivera, who was shot near Santa Fe, New Mexico in 1982. 2 escapees from the former Swan River youth camp passed through the Ronin the night Kerrigan disappeared, later kidnapping and raping a young woman in Navarro. The 2 denied any involvement in his disappearance. The day after Kerrigan's clothes were found, 18-year-old Reed Nevis killed a 41-year-old woman in her Polson home. He had been in Ronin the night Kerrigan disappeared. Nevins was questioned but also denied involvement. Let's see. James Hell was 49, went missing January 10th, 1992. January 19th, Heron was staying at the home of a friend, Wayne Little, in a nearby Knoxon. They just overheard Hell's vehicle, a tan 1974 Chevy 3/4-ton pickup. Hell left that morning for a test drive and was expected back for dinner after running a few errands. Never been seen or heard from since. That's strange. And then we read about him. We read about her. Is that all of them? Might be all on this page. This is a continuation of one of them. So there must be another page, but I don't have a subscription. Search of Anderson Church residents turned up no sign of foul play or indication he had planned to leave town for an extended time. His Sunday sermon was on his desk, his plugged-in electric razor in the sink beside his toothbrush. The last reported sighting of Anderson was about 8 a.m. on Sunday when a couple of Townsend residents said they spotted him driving east on Highway 12 towards White Sulphur Springs. He reportedly was alone. Authorities monitored his credit card and bank social security accounts but noticed no activity. The case went quiet until 4 months later. On October 26, 1982, a deer hunter happened upon Anderson's abandoned 1975 silver Volkswagen in a heavily timbered White Gulch area of the Big Belt Mountains. The car obviously had been hidden, parked in a spot where it was visible neither from air nor from any road or trail. Getting it there would have required a skillful drive along a ridge and then down a steep slope. Finn said whoever drove it there probably was familiar with the area. Dozens of searchers, assisted by dogs, scoured the terrain, finding several of Anderson's belongings a half-mile from the car at a vantage on the ridge that offered a striking panoramic view of Townsend Canyon, Ferry Lake, and the surrounding landscape. Found were Anderson's prayer book, cap, Old Testament glasses, and clerical collar. Anderson's body wouldn't necessarily have been found if it's in the area, Flynn said. It's a pretty big country. It doesn't take much to get a long ways from there. Anderson was under a lot of pressure at the time, Flynn said. Proceedings were underway to fire him from a position in the church, and he was going through a divorce and child custody fight, the county attorney recalled. Many tips came in over the years, including claims of murder and alleged sightings, but nothing of real substance. And you can pause this and read it. Okay. And that one says they doubt he took his life. Carnies, and this is the end of that one from another page. Written and called their parents sporadically over the last 8 years from places all around the world. Richard and his wife Jean believe their son and daughter, after arriving in Europe, were befriended and brainwashed by members of an international cult, the family formerly known as the Children of God. She suspects that Robert and Terry, vulnerable in a foreign land, were convinced to tag along on travels with Children of God members who eventually seduced them into the group. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, said Jean Carney. Coping with this has been difficult, said Richard Carney, who's still working on accepting the situation after years of anger and sorrow. The healing is different because the day doesn't go by without him wondering where his children are and if they're okay, when they'll next send word. Literally each day when I go to the mailbox, it kind of rips the scab off again. The Children of God started as a ministry to born-again hippies in California in 1868, spread across the world under the leadership of self-proclaimed prophet David Brantberg. Members are expected to forsake all, including their families. The Children of God's gospel of free love and practice of sending young women, and less frequently men, out to win converts and gain donations with sex earned them the label of a sex cult. The organization, now called The Family, says it has 9,000 members, including children worldwide. Wow. And you can pause that and read it too. At the end it says he thinks he's going to die before he sees them again. So, and if you have any information about Peggy Joan Decoteau, please contact authorities and let them know. Don't forget to pray for her family and her loved ones. Feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.